2. This is what the ancients were commended for. Therefore, faith, hear inaudible, see invisible, believe in incredible, and receive the impossible. I'll say it again. It's faith. Faith hear what is inaudible. You see what is invisible and believe what is incredible and receive the impossible. And that is what we learn from our lesson today about Joshua and Caleb. 12 of them went to go and spies. And the 12 of them gave the details of what they saw. But the difference in Joshua was that see the invisible, while the other 10 could not see. They only see with their naked eyes. Joshua and Caleb stood tall, not because of their size or their strength, but because of their faith when others saw giants too big to be defeated. They saw a God too great to fail. Their loyalty and trust in the Lord turned fear to victory and set example that continue to inspire the generation. And that is why the only first generation that left Egypt and got to Canaan's land was only Joshua and Caleb. Why the rest? They die in the wilderness. The example of another person that exercised faith can be seen in the book of Joshua chapter 2. In person of our Rahab. No matter your background, no matter who you are, God doesn't look at our background. He uses the person that can see the invisible, that can hear inaudible, live in incredibility, and receive impossibility. And that is what Rahab saw. She saw the spies the Israelites sent. And she can see who they are. And that is why he hid them in her house. It was a risk because they came to her house to ask about those visitors. But she stood her ground and said they are not her. She took that risk of saving those strangers just to define our faith. Without an act, our faith will rather be ineffective. Without an act of work, our faith will rather be ineffective. Work is the catalyst that triggers faith. And faith is the force that instigates work. Thus, they are intertwined. Both faith and work, they are intertwined. They cannot be separated. If you have faith, you have to work on it. Faith is not the absence of doubt, but the presence of trust. Faith is not the absence of doubt, but the presence of trust. Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. Faith involves taking the first step. Faith is believing that the best is yet to come, even when the present is uncertain. Faith is not a feeling, but a choice. Choose to trust when it is hard. That is faith in walking. Ellen G. White talks about faith in her writing, Gospel Workers, page 259. I quote, "Truth faith and true prayer, how strong they are. They are as two arms by which the human supplicant lay hold upon the power of infinite love. Faith is trusting in God, believing that he loves us and knows what it is for our best. Thus, instead of our own way, it leads us to choose his way. In place of our weaknesses, in place of our ignorance, we accept his wisdom. In place of sinfulness, we take his righteousness. Our lives, ourselves, all already belongs to him. Faith acknowledges his ownership and accepts his blessing. Truth, uprightness, purity are pointed out as a secret of life success. It is faith that puts us in possession of these things. Every good impulse or aspiration is a gift of God. Faith receives from God the life that only can produce true growth and efficiency. In conclusion, have faith that God has a plan for your life, even when things seem uncertain. Hold on to faith, even when circumstances seem hopeless. Taking a step of faith forward, even when you are not sure of what is ahead of you. Finally, brethren, faith is not a destination, but a journey. It is a process of trusting, growing, and learning. I pray that God will help our little faith to grow higher and higher in Jesus' name.
Thank the preacher for that wonderful sermon. I pray to impact our lives in Jesus' name. Let's take our closing hymn from hymn 523. Let us all rise.
Hello.
Nothing a man may bring.
trust the ever-living one, that he for me will plead. I need no other evidence, I need no other plea. It is enough that Jesus died and rose again.